Hello everyone, my name is Hina and this video is about the preparation strategy you need to adopt in order to crack the UGC NET exam. Now we know that the NET exam is a very competitive exam that's conducted all over India, and in the year 2020 what we saw was that more than 60,000 people appeared for the exam, and out of this 3,613 students qualified UGC NET and 588 candidates cracked JRF. So now we know that when you look at the figures, we know that this is an exam you need to prepare for very much. So you can't just simply blame on luck and say that, oh, I'm very unlucky, I could not crack the exam. No, it's not like that. With certain tips and also using certain strategies, you will be able to clear the exam. So let's look at some of the things you have to consider important when you're learning for UGC NET. Now, the first thing you need to get aware about is that you need to be very much aware about the syllabus of the exam. So what happens is that when it comes to English literature, the syllabus is very vast, and that is the first problem that you might face when you start studying for UGC NET. So the syllabus is very vast and you feel like, oh my god, this is very tough. It's not like that. You just get acquainted with the syllabus, you go for more of it, you read more of it. So for some of us, we are very comfortable with reading, and for some others, hearing to classes and hearing to lectures is what helps. So you can decide based on how you study, and it's depending on every learner, the way you study is different. Okay, so you can go for books or you can either go for some courses wherein you get to hear some lectures. Now for students of English literature, we see that we have a less number of books because we have books like Glossary of Literary Terms, we have books like B. Prasad's Study of the Background of History Literature. Books of that sort can help us, and also certain sites when it comes to the summary of the works, or when you want to, you want to look at the writers or their, the things of, their biography or things of that sort. The sites can help you a lot. Okay, so we see that if you want to go for the biography of the authors or something of that sort, Wikipedia can help you. And otherwise, if you want to look at the summaries of works or the main characters of the work or things of that sort, LitCharts or SparkNotes can help you. So go for what is helpful for you, see what is helpful for you. If reading is better for you or if listening to classes is better for you, you can decide, because you are the learner and how you learn is very important. So the first thing I would suggest is that you need to be very acquainted with the syllabus. Now what happens when you get acquainted with the syllabus is that, first of all, the thing is that you get less nervous when you get inside the exam hall, because you are very much aware with all these syllabus and things of that sort. So time management and also your nervousness is reduced when it comes to attending the exam. Okay, and another important preparation that you can go for is that attend the maximum number of previous year question papers and attend the maximum number of mock tests you can, because that is something which helps you to manage your time very well. Again, you have a lot of mock tests available for free in our learning app, that is Aifer Learning app, and you get more acquainted with the questions, you get more time to answer the questions. So in that way, previous year question papers and mock tests can help you. When you attend more and more mock tests or previous year question papers, what happens is that you get acquainted with the question pattern of the questions. So you don't feel any kind of nervousness, you feel like, oh, these are the questions I have always seen. So this is one benefit of attending more and more mock tests. And when it comes to when you're learning literary terms or literary movements or things of that sort, be very sure about what is important. Like you can, for example, focus on the degree syllabus or the PG syllabus you had, and we know what we had learned during our graduation or post-graduation days. So you can focus more on the more on your own syllabus or your own syllabus of PG, and try learning more of it and understand what is important, what are the major things you have to learn, and then you can focus on the movements and trends of different periods. Okay, and also when it comes to writers, British, if it's in writers of any sort, you can go for the writers, and also you can get acquainted with the chronological order of the works. Okay, you need to focus on the major works, and along with that you can focus on the minor works of the authors also. So it might be very difficult to learn the dates and remember the dates as it is all the time. But what you can do is that just sort out the works in the exact order. That will help you for your NET exam, because in the last few years we saw that this chronological order is very important when it comes to the NET exam. So you can focus more on the writers and do not skip out the minor works of the major writers, because every work of that writer is important. And after 2018, after NTA took up the exam, one of the major difference we saw that before 2018 we saw that most of the questions were asked from apart from British literature, most of the questions were asked from post-colonial literature or European literature and things of that sort. But after NTA took up the exam, what we saw is that questions were more focused on British literature and also on literary criticism, including cultural studies. Okay, and also literary theory. Questions were more focused on it. So understand what are the major topics and try to give more of your time for the study of those topics. And along with that, you can give your time to the other works also. So if you plan in a very perfect way, or if you plan in a way you will be able to qualify the UGC NET exam. And it's not about hard work or time. Time is very much necessary because this is a competitive exam, and one thing you need to be very sure is that you won't be able to learn the entire syllabus in 1 week or 1 month. You need to take more time, and along with that, go for smart work. It's not hard work that you need to crack the UGC NET exam. You need smart work. You need to understand which are the most important topics. You need to understand how the questions are coming, and what I told you earlier can help you to understand all these things. When it comes to literary theory or criticism, you need not go for the entire, you need not know the entire things of that sort. Instead, you can focus on the practitioners of a particular kind of theory or particular kind of idea. You can focus on the practitioners of that particular idea, and you can focus on the major works they brought and the major terms that they have coined. So for example, when it comes to Russian formalism, the major practitioners include Viktor Shklovsky, Vladimir Prop, and Roman Jakobson, and they have coined several terms like defamiliarization, estrangement, and of that sort. Okay, and there were certain features that were there for formalists. They followed certain things. There were certain key features for formalism, and also there were works associated to it, and also the year in which those books were published or the years through which these practitioners were active. You can understand or you can learn more about these things when it comes to literary theory or criticism or cultural studies. So that's not a big deal. You don't have to get afraid when it comes to literary theory or criticism. In fact, it's much more easier than the other literary works, because in most of the literary works we see that when questions come, it comes from the characters, it comes from the stories of that sort. But we know that we won't be able to remember the stories of every single literary work you have gone through in English literature. So literary criticism, when you look at that side, it's much more easier. You can know about the practitioners, you get the crisp idea of what the criticism or theory is all about. Okay, and apart from all this, when you keep all the preparation aside, you need to know one important thing, and that is consistency. Consistency is the key to success. So if you want to achieve UGC NET, you need to be very consistent in your preparation, and there may be factors, or there are often factors that keeps you less motivating. There won't be factors that keeps you motivating all the time. In fact, you have to find your own motivation, and you need to understand what is the purpose of achieving this UGC NET, or what is the purpose of achieving a JRF, and how that would benefit your career. So that is the only way you can crack UGC NET. And along with this consistency, go for smart work. Don't just be a very hardworking person. Instead, understand what are the major parts that you have to focus on, and then begin your preparations. That would help you to achieve UGC NET or JRF. Thank you.